Hello, my fellow readers. My name is Greg, and this is Ghost Readers in the Sky. Today I'm here with my roundup for week 3 of Private Eye July. I finished 2 Private Eye novels this week and about halfway through a third one. I want to tell you about what I've read. We'll start with Ross Macdonald's book, The Chill, written in 1963. It's a novel featuring his famous PI, Lou Archer. Lou Archer is a PI based in Southern California, and part of what Macdonald is well known for is the way that he incorporates the culture and landscape of the coast of SoCal into the stories. I've read quite a few of the Lou Archer novels, but I don't remember reading The Chill before, and this is a great book. Lou Archer is hired by a guy to find his wife who is missing. She abandoned him on their honeymoon, or somebody said she went off with an older man who he didn't recognize the description, so he hires Archer to find his wife. So Archer is looking for the wife, and he stumbles across a murder that seems to be related, but it's hard to tell just exactly in what way. And as he does his investigating, he finds 2 more murders from past years, decades ago, in Chicago, so a long way from California, but they're spread out across time, and he's trying to figure out, do these really connect? I think they do, but I don't know how. And then, of course, who done it? Lou Archer is very cool and subdued. He has some of those Philip Marlowe characteristics. He isn't afraid. He's a tough PI. And he does get into some fights, but he's not into nearly as many fights as even a Sam Spade and certainly a Mike Hammer gets into. He also shows an appreciation for women's beauty, and the women do flirt with him, but he does not seem to be in pursuit of anything, as opposed to Sam Spade, as opposed to Mike Hammer. And I really enjoyed watching Lou work this out. There are quite a few characters, and because it spans a lot of time, there are some things to keep track of, but we really are learning this as Lou is learning it. We, the readers, learn along with Lou. And I think the pace is about right, and the complexity is about right. And I did not guess the resolution, although it made perfect sense, and you could see all the clues. You could see how it was all coming together, and I just didn't see it coming. Second one I read was Robert B. Parker, a Spencer novel, the first one, the Godwulf Manuscript, which I read in the past. This one was written in 1973, early 70s. Okay. I've read this one before. I read the first half dozen or so of the Spencer novels, and I remember when I was reading them, they were starting to get sillier, and I jumped ahead a few books just to see if it got better, because sometimes it does. And whichever one I picked up, I can't even remember. It had a yellow cover, and it was just almost unreadable. And that really put me off of Robert B. Parker for a long time. So I never read the Jesse Stone. I never read the Sonny Randall. I just didn't care. But those first few Spencer novels I remember as being really good. And Godwulf Manuscript is good. I had forgotten how much of a wisecracker Spencer is. Everything he says is a quip. Everything he says is intended to be a joke. And while having those interspersed in conversation is really enjoyable, there was a point where Spencer just got on my nerves. I think that's part of why I liked some of the earlier novels. Hawk is not in this one, who was played in the TV series by Avery Brooks. That was the best part of that show, I think, was Avery Brooks. I think that's part of why I liked those with Hawk, and when Susan, his on and off girlfriend, became a regular, because then it wasn't all about Spencer. The other thing I didn't remember is that Spencer will jump into bed with anybody. He doesn't even seem to have as much discretion as Mike Hammer has. He's certainly not on the extreme of a Lou Archer or a Philip Marlowe, who admire but really don't get involved with people. Spencer's ready at the drop of a hat, I guess we'll say. I call Spencer a squawkier, more libidinous version of Philip Marlowe. This was still a good book. The other thing that really struck me, and I thought was surprising, because this was written in the 70s, and there were no strong female characters in this whole book. Dashiell Hammett wrote some really strong women characters. Think about the Maltese Falcon and Ms. O'Shaughnessy, a very strong woman who knew what she wanted and used the conventions of the time to get what she was after. You see the same thing in the Philip Marlowe books, Raymond Chandler, a lot of really strong women who are out to get what they want. Mike Hammer goes up against some really strong women. Lou Archer goes up against some really strong women. They may not be the kind who use their fists or use guns or use that kind of physical violence, but they are tough as nails. And they use all of the tools available to them to get what they're after. And in this Spencer novel, in the Godwulf manuscript, the women are either victims or bystanders or just whiny. And I was really surprised because I would have thought in the 70s you would start getting really strong female characters in greater numbers. And at least certainly for this first Spencer book, it wasn't there. So, a good plot, good, interesting mystery. Spencer certainly has his strong points, and there are things that are interesting, if not likable, about Spencer. But it's just a notch down on my list of private eye fiction. Your mileage may vary. And then I'm about halfway through the first Nero Wolfe novel written by Rex Stout. It's called Fertile Ants. I really like both Nero Wolfe and Archie Godwin. They're great characters. This was written in 1934. Like I said, I'm about halfway through and I'm really enjoying it. So I'll finish that up this week and read some more, and about a week from now I'll catch you up on what I've read. So that's where I am right now with Private Eye July. So far this month I've read 6 Private Eye novels. The Nero Wolfe is my 7th, and I will read more before July ends. Thanks so much for watching this video, especially to those of you who watched all the way to the end. I know quite a few of you do, and I appreciate that. Appreciate everybody who subscribed to this channel and who likes and comments on these videos. I really like having conversations about the books I've read with people in the comments. I find that's a really important part of my own enjoyment of BookTube, is hearing from other people about my videos and being able to respond to others about their videos. So thank you for those of you who do choose to comment. Till next time, my name is Greg, and this is Ghost Readers in the Sky.